Ladies and gentlemen, everyone in between, welcome to the Real Honest Radio Podcast. This is your host,
The Real Honest One, Jonn Ritland, with my best friend and the co-host,
the Terminator. Hello.
And boy, do we have a packed show for you today, guys. Yes, we were recording this Friday morning instead of the afternoon. Our voices are a little shot because we were at the Super J Cup at the Temple Theater in Tacoma last night.
Holy fuck!
And we will talk about that. We went to two shows this week. Without a Cause, WA, and Everett, Washington. Fortunately, only 30 minutes away, not 75 miles away, where it took us 2.5 hours to get to Tacoma.
Worth it.
Worth it, absolutely worth it. Also, we are going to first actually start out with some congratulations because WWE is celebrating.
The man's man proposed to the man.
Right.
And she said yes.
Becky Lynch and Rollins, in case you're wondering, which I guess we're going to call them now.
I don't have their number.
You're just going to steamroll
We're not
over
doing
that?
an interview. I'm sorry.
We're
not even close to popular enough.
Could you imagine if we ever were? No, but they are now Sethky Rollynch.
Yep.
I think technically. But yes, congratulations to them. It's pretty bad that I think that Becky's going to be, going to have the bigger, be the bigger member of that relationship.
Are you just saying that because she's the man?
Yes.
Okay.
That's exactly it. But honestly, yes, guys, our video.
It's also didn't exactly peg Seth Rollins for, but apparently she's going to.
Oh man, but I tell you, really, really fun. Past week and everything. But no, congratulations to Becky and Seth. In all honesty, it was really good. But yeah, let's talk about some stuff that we saw.
It's so cool.
Let's talk about some stuff we saw without a cause. And I mean, honestly, support your local indies.
Because the people that you see on the indies, like 8 months ago, may blow up on the internet later, and in a good way.
Yeah, not actually blow up like,
like some backyard wrestling bullshit. Speaking of backyard wrestling bullshit.
Yeah.
Not bullshit, I should say.
Right, we're not going to get
to that. Alex Zane, when he got super popular. I remember we saw him at a couple of the Without a Cause shows.
We saw him at the first one in October of last year.
And then we saw him at the January one?
No, I think it was February or March.
Yeah.
Because it was one of the ones I was at.
And just a few months later, he showed off that 720,000 degree rotation that he did.
Yeah, that day. Did. I gotta say this, it was really nice to see how he hasn't. I knew that he was really, really good even from the first, show we were at.
But he's only got one direction to go.
It's to Taco Bell.
That's correct.
I mean,
body by Taco Bell, as he puts it.
Yeah, which is good stuff. Honestly, what I've really enjoyed about, going to these indie shows is just, it's a nice intimate atmosphere. No, not like that. Even though Priscilla Kelly and Kimberly were there. Speaking
of intimate, the New Japan seating, but we'll get to that.
We will talk about that. So some of the shows, some of the people.
Yes.
Like we got to see Eric Stevens and Daniel Makabe.
They had a terrific match. Eric Stevens was hilarious.
And really, actually,
they were very talented.
They were very talented. Makabe, I keep wanting to say Makabe because that's how they say Togi Makabe's name in New Japan. But yeah, they put on a really good match. And then you got Nick Wayne.
At 14, being able to do he did a top turnbuckle Spanish fly, didn't he?
Yes, something like that. He did that, and he teamed up with Jaden. Who?
Jaden Morales.
Jaden Morales. I almost said Jaden Smith. I go, no, this Jaden's talented.
Right? Nick Wayne, a 14-year-old being inspired by a very popular cruiserweight. Yeah. Which reflects kind of well on Will Ospreay because he's doing that Os cutter.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, which that was a match we'll get to here in a bit. They faced what? They faced the Strays. It was pretty much it was a good athletic but comedy match. That was some pretty good stuff. The Strays, living the gimmick is exactly what you should do when you're
I hope they're not living that particular gimmick. Because that particular gimmick, they're homeless.
Yes, hopefully not that. But also
on the dumpster behind Tim Hortons.
But also, let's talk about, we're not going to go everything minute detail. I mean, you did have Steve Miggs and, Cool Dad Chris Ross.
Miggs is a radio host for KSW, And he is a gigantic fan of wrestling.
Not that you'd be able to tell if you listened to his show.
Or gigantic in the sense that he is a tall motherfucker.
He's like, what, 6'5"?
Yeah.
6'4", 6'5"?
He's taller than me.
Near 6'1".
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, Miggs, and he's somebody where he's clearly displaying his passion. He's a very good heel, but the fact that he has only been wrestling a little bit and only wrestles occasionally, you know, he's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And he teased doing a moonsault and then just did and then just jumped backwards and did a splash because he wasn't gonna waste it on a dirty city like Everett,
on a D grade city.
Yeah, not inaccurate.
Come on, this is not Granite Falls.
That's an F grade. I mean, it is. And I know people in Granite Falls, and they fit that. So, I want to talk also about the women's match. Perfectly fine during Priscilla Kelly's entrance.
Sure you were.
No, you weren't either. Don't even... but it was Priscilla Kelly and Kimberly. Yeah. And they put on a really good match. I got to meet both of them. I met Priscilla Kelly a few times. But Kimberly, homestay girl, really talented. They put on a good match as well. I was very impressed by that. Mm-hmm. And we get... Yeah, let's see. Well, 4 minutes of heat.
Yeah, we had 4 minutes of heat versus... Who was it?
It was the... God, it was... What were the guys' names? And we're sorry we didn't really know. Oh, the gross misconduct guys.
Yes, Steve West, who is a fixture in 3-2-1 Battle, and Drexel.
Yeah. Not that you would have guessed either of those guys would have been part of 3-2-1 Battle. That's weird wrestling, by the way.
Yes.
I mean...
It's the kind of thing that would make Jim Cornette's head explode.
Might even make my head explode, because I don't mind weirdness, but...
All depends.
That's true. But I actually finally got to meet 4 Minutes of Heat, even though I guess they like quite a few of the pictures. I think even one of them was following me on Instagram and Twitter. Rock God Ricky Gibson
and Eddie F. and Pearl.
And if they aren't totally, and I'm not saying that, I'm not meaning this in a disrespectful way if they happen to be listening to this, I mean, somehow. They do remind me a lot of taking some of those parts of the Rock and Roll Express and mixing it with a heel persona. Even though I think they're a good babyface team.
What? Rockers with a Rock and Roll Express influence? That never happens, John.
No, not at all. I mean, I think they were going to change. I think the Rock and Roll Express had planned to change their hairstyle in the 80s.
But they had them bowled over.
Yeah, you're just going to steamroll over my joke, huh?
Yeah, it was predictable.
I never make the same jokes, Chris.
No, not at all.
No, the paper cut implications, I was like, okay, didn't need to see that.
Yeah.
But
Steve West just trying to fling snot at people.
That was pretty fun.
And we had a number one contenders match. It was Chris Bay versus the Black Sheep, Dave Turner.
You know Turner pretty well because you work with him.
Chris Bay, I don't know if he still is, but was part of a tag team called Double Platinum. When they showed up at Without a Cause, they kind of helped burn the house down with the Strays.
Yeah.
Which is why the Strays are now homeless, I think.
Yeah. And what was great, Chris Bay is basically... He's very, very talented. He's definitely a lightweight wrestler.
Yeah.
But he throws some really, really good kicks. Great heel. Very, very good heel.
He managed to pull out the victory on that one, which plays into
a little bit
what happens later.
Yeah. I do want to put over that tag match, though, that we saw with 4 Minutes of Heat and Gross Misconduct, because I thought for doing that kind of stuff where you could have some comedy, it was pretty good stuff. And the women's match, of course, was good. Then we get Chase James and Jordy Taylor. And if you want to see somebody embrace being able to be embarrassed...
Living that heel life?
Oh, God. Jordy Taylor.
Yeah, Jordy Taylor, he kind of exudes that same kind of energy that MJF does.
Yeah, and he was really fucking great. There was this... They had this 10-minute match where... It was a 10-minute time limit match and no DQ and stuff like that. And then after that...
Yeah, after it came out to a draw.
Wanted 5 more minutes.
Yep.
But Chris Bay comes down and says, hey, wait a second.
I'm a busy man.
Why don't we just have this now?
Exactly. And so it became a triple threat.
And like a minute and a half later, I think.
Yeah, Chris Bay walks out, the champion without a cause.
He is the new WAC champion. Hi, I'm going to make things dirtier.
To be fair.
Yeah.
It's kind of dirty to begin with.
It kind of is.
That's why they say champion without a cause, not whack champion.
I'm laughing at that because I'm a mature individual. But that was fun.
Don't worry, John. No one has ever said that about you.
No one, not different. I do want to say though, not just for Without a Cause, but other stuff.
Yeah.
Really is great to support your indies.
It is.
It really is. I mean, we try to go to ones we can. We can't go to every single one, and not even just because of money. Even if we had the money, it's also the driving, the time,
the money.
Right, but even if we had
the driving and the time.
Right, even if we had like the money.
Yeah.
That's the thing. The independently wealthy, whatever this kind of stuff, hit the lottery. It would still be the amount of time because, especially for Defy,
yeah,
that's an all-day thing. Now, that's not a complaint. Defy puts on some great shows. But I'm happy that Without a Cause is succeeding. You're going to be going to their September show, which is the same day as Clash of Champions. Mm-hmm. And then we're actually going to be going to the... we're going to be going to that the anniversary show on 27th.
Yes.
Or of October.
Yes.
Whatever that is.
October 27th. They're renting out a huge ballroom to be able to do the anniversary show. I really hope that they sell out.
It's going to turn into a ballroom blitz.
Probably.
It should though.
Max would probably play that song if it was suggested to him.
He would.
Yeah, probably suggest it to him.
You're going to suggest it to him, aren't you?
But I just said that, John.
Did you? I wasn't listening.
What?
God damn it. Let's get to the New Japan Super J Cup, though.
Let's get to the New Japan.
But in all seriousness, support your local indies. So, yeah.
Oh my God, New Japan.
75 miles from
the most frustrating 2.5 hour drive that should have been like an hour and 20 minutes.
Maybe 2 hours at the no, let's just say an hour and 45 minutes. You can understand some slowdown. Folks, for those that don't live in Washington, if you do, you're going to know exactly what we're fucking talking about. All the construction, trying to funnel people down a highway that was never designed for the amount of people that this side of the state has gotten.
No.
From Burlington, which is about 30 miles north of us, down, and then it's like 20 miles of nothing until Bellingham.
Yeah.
Bellingham's like
we had to reroute several times just to shave like 10 minutes off the trip so that we'd have time to get in line.
Yeah. Which, I mean, was even funny because we got there just in time, but it's like, we made some good time until about just...
We left at 3. We got there, we walked up the hills and got there at about, 5:40, 5:45.
Yeah. And it's just...
Yeah, that steep-ass hill.
2.
Temple Theater is not a great place to find parking at.
No. So we just parked at a parking... It actually wasn't that bad. I don't even think it was a half a mile. I think it was more like about a quarter mile. But it was fine. The experience driving there is just... It's such bullshit. And it's nothing against road crews. It's nothing against the workers. It's just everybody that planned this shit.
Yeah. But let's get into the actual event because I believe that is what people are here to hear about.
That is true. If you know about bad traffic, though, you sympathize. So, we get there. Temple Theater, well, I mean, this isn't anything to stab. I think it was New Japan. They had this bullshit policy about no purses, no bags.
No bags at all. It doesn't matter if it's like, so women had to walk back to their cars in Tacoma with their purses to leave them in their cars in Tacoma.
For those of you who don't know anything about Tacoma,
it's like Seattle, but slightly worse.
Yeah. There are good parts of it. But anyway.
Some of them, I assume, are fine parts.
Fine parts on both sides. So, we get in there. It's some good shit. Honest to God. Really, really good shit. Like, I'm really, really enjoying so far when we're getting in the venue. But the seating arrangement, let me just say this much. I think they oversold this and they crammed the chairs together.
I think they planned this out as if everyone was the average height of a Japanese man.
That's a good point.
They forgot that they were dealing with an American crowd, and we're biggins, both in width and in length.
You're not talking about body type anymore, are you?
No, I am.
So it's just me turning this dirty?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
But yeah, first, we got to meet some cool people that were there. If we don't mention you by name, do not worry. But yeah, we got to meet some cool people. We've seen it Defy. Yeah. And we've seen it Without a Cause.
The usual Defy crowd was there, and they're like the most pleasantly rabid wrestling fan base.
Danica Delaroche was in crowd also.
Yeah.
Not that you wouldn't have been able to see her with the pink hair and
Right.
stuff like that.
Cody Chun was there as part of the New Japan crew. The seconds.
But it was great. It was great atmosphere. It was really cool to see, and I don't remember the ring announcer's name, but just, it was cool because he was out there taking pictures of the line, and just wearing the shiniest goddamn suit.
Yep. Subtle. Very subtle.
Yeah, very. Japan's always subtle.
No, it isn't.
I know. It's a joke. But once we got in there, sat down, great atmosphere. It is a really cool atmosphere. One, they need to, I know it's a building that was built in like 1927.
Get some AC up in that bitch.
Put some fans up there. Something. Just something. Because, my God, by the third match, everybody was like dying.
They had the doors open, which I think was just letting in the hot air from outside.
I think it was.
But, yeah, it was like, you have that amount of people in a room, they're going to be baking.
And not Kevin.
Or smoking weed.
But hopefully not.
Yeah.
Hopefully not there. But let's get to that. First off, great atmosphere. Love the fact we were so close. We were, 20 feet from the ring, if that.
Yeah.
First match, Carl Fredericks, one of the LA Dojo guys.
Mm-hmm.
They got New Japan Dojo, LA Dojo. So he teamed up against Jushin Thunder Liger. I absolutely lost my shit because
Fredericks teamed with Jushin Thunder Liger.
Fredericks teamed with Liger. Okay, Fredericks teamed with Liger. Yeah. And then they face off against Ren Narita and Shota Umino. If any of you know anything about me, Liger is one of the guys that got me into Japanese wrestling. Him, Great Muta, Masahiro Chono.
Yes.
Pretty much in that order. And yeah, I pretty much lost my shit seeing Liger live.
What?
Well, I think everybody lost their goddamn shit. Yeah, Liger was like probably, I think maybe with the exception of the main event, I think Liger and Red Shoes probably got the biggest pops of the night.
Yeah.
Red Shoes, the referee. I mean, just amazing. But it was great to see Liger wrestle. Narita hits that beautiful,
I think the biggest pops of the night was the main event.
Oh, yeah.
Which is perfect.
Which makes sense. But Ren Narita hitting that beautiful high gable grip, like that overhead release. Yeah. Narita, all he's going to need to do is add, maybe not even add mass, but just add experience. The guy is really goddamn good. He is really good. And Shota Umino, you can tell this teaming with Moxley has just helped him immensely. Like, I can tell you just from having seen him last year to now, they had him team with another guy, Ayato Yoshida, in World Tag League. They didn't win a match, of course. They didn't. But then he faced Tanahashi in, like, New Japan Cup. Shota did. Had this near fault that was like, it was like that close, and nobody can see it, but it was that close.
Yeah.
It was like rice paper. And I'm not saying that because they're Japanese. But what?
Nothing.
Right.
I didn't say anything,
but
John.
You didn't have to because the look on your face. But yeah, Shota Umino did that. They see big things for Shota. And Ren was the one that took the fall. Carl's pretty impressive. I didn't realize just how big the guy was in person. God damn it. But, yeah, seeing Liger in person.
Yes, that was amazing.
And we will not obviously be at the Defy show today.
Yeah, because we're not driving down to Tacoma again, and I need to get my brakes checked.
That, and even if we had the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much just driving down to Tacoma. I mean, it's like I worked later today. That's why we're recording this now. But it's like, it was great. It's great atmosphere. It was great, Liger being there. And then we kick off all the rest of the matches of the Super J Cup opening matches, first round. Rocky Romero. Mm-hmm. I've always been impressed with Rocky. He got the crowd all fired up and everything. Then it was Soberano Jr. He was pretty cool. I'd seen him a little bit in, some co-promotion shows that they've done. Some Best Super Junior stuff and stuff like that. And he was pretty good.
Yeah.
I can definitely see why they used him. I mean, they got a working relationship with CMLL in Mexico anyway. But Soberano winning shocked me a little bit. Yeah, by the way, sorry.
Even after the, what was it, the Infinite Clothesline or?
Yeah, Forever Clothesline.
The Forever Clothesline.
I just love it whenever Rocky...
I don't watch New Japan as much as John does, if it isn't obvious. Like, I don't have I don't have like the time because I work at 5 a.m. every day.
It's not even just that you watch enough wrestling is you have other things that you like to do. So, but with Rocky, like whenever Rocky's in a ring, he'll just like hit the forever clothesline. Somebody says, "Kevin, how long do these clotheslines go on?" Forever.
Yeah,
it's just, and that's pretty much it. But yeah, Rocky Soberano Jr. They had a good match. And then we get Clark Connors, LA Dojo guy
versus
TJP.
Yep.
TJP was disappointed because it was an all-ages show. If you know anything about the TJP controversy, you might appreciate that joke. He got booed pretty heavily. He got some cheers.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he got some cheers from the guy next to me.
Right. Filipino, what can I do?
It's all right. Did he just do nothing but add tattoos since he left WWE? Because that pretty much seems like...
Someone told him to think about his future, but he heard ink about, and, well, that was his story.
All right, that's what we're rolling with. Okay. Wasn't a bad match.
No, not at all. It was a pretty good match.
Clark put on a good performance, and TJP won.
Pulled off a bunch of submissions. They both got into some very desperate-looking situations, and just TJP managed to grab the win.
Yeah, he managed to pull it out in the end. Hopefully not. We then get Bushi. Great mask, some Bushi, by the way. Versus Caristico, who is Sin Cara. And we knew it was Sin Cara.
From the very first botch.
And there were a few of them. Look,
yeah.
I don't get it. How?
Yeah.
Just how? If you were that talented, just how?
If you're so talented that WWE put you right on the main roster, how are you just...
Yeah. And he won.
He won.
He beat Bushi.
Yep.
I mean, whatever. I was actually kind of hoping we'd somehow get Bushi against Rocky Romero in the next match because, or in the next round because Rocky and Bushi do not like each other. Rocky doesn't like Bushi.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it was a weird choice.
It was. I mean, whatever. I think it's pretty obvious any of the CMLL guys aren't gonna win the tournament.
Right.
But they may just be trying to spark this kind of spark some interest and everything, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a good Spanish population.
Watching Sinbach just go through the ropes, get his leg caught on it, and fall down. Yeah. Or what was it? He went to go do a Hurricane Run and just kind of fell to the floor.
Yeah, Bushi, you could tell was mad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could tell with that expression on his face.
Right.
That's it. Man, there were so many people getting hit in the face during that show, and they were like, "Ow, my mask." So we then get a match that was comedic, but comedic in a good way. Jonathan Gresham and Ryusuke Taguchi.
Yes.
Taguchi understands his role perfectly, but when he wants to wrestle, by God, he is so goddamn good.
By God!
I like this match. I thought it was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Sometimes Taguchi's comedy gets to me a little bit. I think that he could take
He's more appreciated in a live setting than a broadcast setting, I think.
He is. I mean, it's like in what I didn't mind.
It's like seeing a comedian live versus watching them on TV.
What I enjoyed was just how he did, he did using his funky weapon, his ass.
Ass.
And just boom, boom, that kind of stuff. The part where he kept missing the clotheslines and running into the ropes and just getting tired out, and I didn't realize how short Gresham was. I mean, but he was really talented.
Well, I mean, him and Jordan are now, I guess, the same height, right?
I guess they basically are. Did they get engaged or they get married? I'm not really sure. But one match I actually think you enjoyed even more than I did was Robbie Eagles and El Phantasmo.
Robbie Eagles is very easy to cheer on because you got that built-in Aussie chant. Except, as one person that was sitting next to Jonn pointed out, I was one of the only people who ever finished that chant. Because it's supposed to be not... So what people are doing is Robbie, 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 oi, 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 Robbie, 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 oi, 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 Robbie, oi, Robbie, oi, and then not doing that.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to finish off with, what's it supposed? Robbie, 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 oi, 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 Robbie, 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 oi, oi,
yeah. Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, it's like I was pretty much suffering from bad headaches because of all the loud noises and stuff like that.
Yeah, we were sitting a few seats away from the speakers where the music would come blasting out of.
Yeah, I mean, and also it's just the fact
Tough
again.
acting tinnitus.
Did we mention how hot that venue was? I mean,
Yes.
But Robbie and ELP put on a great match. I thought you'd like ELP's entrance.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I'm still waiting for him to team with Riddle, El Phantasbro. His shameful look whenever I make the Riddle jokes.
Not El Riddler?
Oh God, there we go. That kind of I don't know why that just sounds dirty, but it just does.
How does El? You know what? Never mind.
Yeah, let's just roll with it. But yeah, Robbie and that was a pretty good match, especially for 12 minutes. It seemed like it was a little longer.
Yes.
But they put on a great performance. It makes sense that they would have ELP go over after Eagles, and him had teased tension while they were both in Bullet Club, and then Eagles had decided to join Chaos and leave Bullet Club.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense here, and it actually ties into something a little bit later, where the next match after this, but you had Yo of Republican 3K versus Dragon Lee. Really good match.
Yes.
I really enjoyed this. I knew you'd like Dragon Lee.
Well, I mean, we got to watch him at G1 Supercard.
Yeah. Yeah, but I knew you'd like Dragon Lee, like if you got to see him
What
live.
are you saying, that I'm a fan of luchadors? Because I am.
Yeah, I mean, you would be. I mean, Rey Mysterio is one of your favorite wrestlers of all time. But Yo is really good. Really good, quite good. I think it's obvious between the two of Repugni 3K that Yo is going to be more of the junior. Show will be more of the heavyweight. But Dragon Lee won. Quite a good, Desnucadora. I always called it Desnucadora or Desnucadora. Death by Snooka.
Death becomes Snuka.
But it did become Snuka. But this was a good match also. And then we get to Show and Taiji Ishimori.
That was a great match as well.
Very, very good match. Ishimori is not much younger than I am. And
he moves like that.
Yeah. I mean, he worked for years and years and years and done some great things in Show. When I knew the Show was going to win. The reason I knew is because you had Rocky lose. You had Yo lose. Show was going to have to win. You were going to have that because Taiji Ishimori and ELP beat Show and Yo for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships in June, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say it was during the Kazuna Road Tour. I didn't watch that only because after Dominion and after being burned out on stuff, sometimes I can't review everything in New Japan.
I mean, you could, but you'd also have to make money and.
Yeah. Well, I'm also only. Yeah, I mean, I'm
Support us on Patreon. Just kidding. We don't have a Patreon.
If we had, could you imagine if we did?
If we had enough subscribers to justify it, certainly.
Yeah. But this was a great match. They had a lot of close near falls and everything. Show hitting him with a shock arrow, just shockering him right down.
Yes. Someone's a fan of, I think, Monster Hunter.
Yep. Is that it?
You got different elemental arrows and poison arrows and sleep stuff.
So you know much more about modern gaming than I do.
I do.
Yeah.
I could be wrong though. I think it's in Monster Hunter World. Anyway,
could be. Now the match I know you're going to want to talk about. And I'm gonna give the floor to you while I get some stuff. Will Ospreay versus Amazing Red, semi-retired Amazing Red. And there you go, my friend.
I was completely blown away by this match. This was probably my match of the year so far, because nothing I have seen has topped it. Because this was just absolutely amazing. There wasn't like abuses of their finishers. Like Amazing Red hit the code red. What was it, twice?
I don't think
there was one on the outside.
Did he hit it even once? Did he hit it a couple times outside?
He hit it once against Will Ospreay in the ring, and then I think he hit it on the apron, didn't he?
I think he tried for it on the apron.
Oh, okay.
Remember, because then Will Ospreay did the Oz Cutter on the apron.
That's right.
As we know.
It was the hardest part of the ring.
Yeah.
As has been repeated ad nauseum. But this match just... It blew my mind. I don't want to give away too many details about this match. Because that match combined with Will Ospreay's after-match promo to Amazing Red is something you gotta see and feel for yourself.
Yeah.
Because this was like him talking about how Amazing Red was an inspiration to 14-year-old him.
Yeah.
Which kind of plays back to what I was talking about earlier with Nick Wayne doing the Oz Cutter.
Yeah, I mean,
But
yeah, who knows? We can see that happen.
yeah, but this was a brilliant match.
Was.
There were chances of you still got it and never lost it.
Yeah. I mean, because Amazing Red just retired earlier this year, and I mean, because all those moves and all that stuff, he'd beaten his body up. I mean,
Yeah. And I think an occasional match won't hurt him that much, but at the same time, who knows? Who knows what's next for Amazing Red?
this may be it. And that's it. That's it. I mean, that's great.
To go out facing Will Ospreay in the best match of the goddamn year, well, I don't think there's any better way to go.
They seem to imply, Ospreay did seem to imply that maybe we could see this at Wrestle Kingdom. I don't know. That's the impression I got. Maybe playing the seeds. But yeah, I would encourage you guys, even though we gave away results of others, this is definitely the match you want to go out and watch.
This is a pay-per-view, or this is something that when it's on video on demand, just go watch it.
It's going to be in like early September, I think, according to like New Japan's schedule.
So, in a couple weeks.
Yeah. I mean, pretty
Summer's
much.
almost over.
Yeah, I don't mind spring or fall. I just don't like it when it's too hot. I don't like it when there's snow, like the day before we were going to go to that Defy show in March.
Oh, yeah.
And then it melted. For those who know what a Chevy Aveo is, imagine trying to go up like about an 800-foot hill when it's snowing and somehow not dying. But moving on from that.
Yes.
Great show, though. Great stuff. Of course, we were all trying to get we were all like cattle being herded out, trying to get out of the goddamn place. But now let's still stick with New Japan. And let's talk about Royal Quest. Now, you are probably not going to be watching Royal Quest.
No.
I may watch Royal Quest on Fight TV. I'm going to weigh my options, but let's go over the card. Because I think it looks like a pretty good card.
All right.
And then we'll talk about TakeOver Cardiff. Briefly. But you got Ren Narita, Shota Umino, and Taguchi versus Roppongi 3K. Sho and Yo, Rocky Romero. It's going to be a hot opener. That's going to get the crowd fired up. You're going to get some comedy. Taguchi and Rocky will no doubt do their comedy spots and stuff like that.
All right.
And I think that's going to be pretty good. One I'm interested in, Juice Robinson and Kota Ibushi versus Yujiro Takahashi and Hikuleo. Now my question is, Yujiro Takahashi, he is the Tokyo Pimp. Will he bring his bunny-eared woman with him? He actually has her name's Peter or something like that. I don't actually know. I think it's with an I. I think it's Pieter. But
okay.
But yeah, you got Hikuleo, the tallest of the Tongans, and he'll probably get pinned. But Juice is actually going to be at the Defy show tonight. So if you happen to be listening to this and you're going to the Defy show, have fun.
Yeah.
But Kota's the guy that won the G1. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with him. Robbie Eagles and Will Ospreay versus El Phantasmo and Taiji Ishimori. Unless Eagles takes the pin here, then they're going to have Eagles and Ospreay challenge for the junior heavyweight tag titles down the road.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah, that one will be interesting. Sonata and Naito versus Chase Owens and Jay White. I said Chase Owens' name and nearly went to sleep. I'm sorry. I just don't...
Boring!
He's fundamentally sound in the ring. He is also as boring as watching paint dry. Bobby, you know what I'm talking about. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but he's just boring. Tamatonga Tangaloa versus... And they haven't even announced this yet because it's like we're like 8 days away from the event, but it's the RPW's Road to Royal Quest tournament, whoever the winning team is. I think that's Revolution Pro Wrestling. So we don't know who the fuck it is. 3 championship matches, though. I mean, besides that one. So 3 singles championships. Ishii versus Kenta for the Never Openweight Championship. See, that's where I thought maybe you might want to watch it just to see that kind of stuff. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Tanahashi, which we have seen before. That's for the British Heavyweight Championship. And then...
Hopefully Boris Johnson doesn't ruin this match for him.
Ruin my G1!
Boris fucking Johnson!
But... And then we got Okada versus Minoru Suzuki, which came about because they did that. They had Suzuki pin him in a
Old pineapple head.
Suzuki?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna call him that. I mean, Guy's 51 years old and can probably lift a planet. But with that, I think Royal Quest will be fun. Again, I'm still debating about whether I'm going to pay for it on Fight TV or just watch it on demand. Because it looks like it could be fun. Because the other alternative is to go in completely blind and watch TakeOver UK Cardiff. I've kept up on some of the results of the UK brand. But guys, it's hard to keep up on all this wrestling.
Yeah.
I mean, look at how much we review in general. And we don't even review everything. We dropped the NXT 205 live reviews.
What a time to be a wrestling fan. There's something for everyone out there.
Yeah.
And if you can't find it on TV, you'll find it in your indies. Not in your undies. Don't even say it, John.
That's what I heard.
I know you
That's
did.
what I heard. That's what I heard.
I've known you for 10 years.
I don't know. I thought it was going to be a brief joke. But I'm excited for Royal Quest just based on the 3 singles championship matches alone. Then for TakeOver UK Cardiff, and then we'll talk about some other things. Travis Banks and Noam Dar. I'm assuming Noam Dar is the heel. He probably would have to be. Noam Dar is a much better heel.
Yeah.
Dave Mastiff and Joe Coffey in a last man standing match. Poor Eddie Dennis apparently suffered an injury.
No.
I don't think he'll be out too long, but then we get Zach Gibson and James Drake, as I called them, the Grizzled Hung veterans, or actually the Grizzled Young veterans, but I like playing around with words. I probably could have worded that a whole lot better than I did.
Probably.
But they faced Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster. No, we're not going to add the sound effect in.
Flash!
Yeah, we'll have him do that. Gallus, Mark Coffey, and Wolfgang. It's a triple threat tag team match for the UK Tag Team Championships. I just have to me there's just no buzz about the UK brand. And it's nothing at all against any of the talents. It's nothing against the talents.
It's just there's so much wrestling going on, it's hard to really keep up with it all.
Yeah, and it's like, yes, WWE has their network, but they also like people to watch shit live.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not going to work.
No.
And then we get Volta versus Tyler Bate, UK Championship. That's going to be interesting to see if Tyler can actually swing Walter. That also sounded a lot less dirty in my head before I said that.
Dun, 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 dun.
I think there's no doubt Walter's retaining with that one.
Yeah, Tyler Bates gonna Allegro con fuck off.
And Toni Storm versus Kaylee Ray. UK Women's Championship. Quite frankly, if it were up to me, that would main event. And because it seems like they've been hyping that the most. With the rest of it, though...
The women's division does seem to be the strongest part of the brand, and that's not to say anything about the men in the group, but...
No, nothing against Mustache Mountain, Walter, you got the Imperium, or whatever it is, where they were in Austria during the war, but, moving on from that. Really, it's just going to be a packed week of wrestling, and didn't we preview All Out last week?
Yeah.
Did we preview All Out? Yeah. Did we preview it, or did we just talk about
I think we just pretty much talked about it, but...
I think we did. I think we talked about
I think we'll save a lot of that for the predictions video.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I was just curious, but it's just... We did that. But other than that, let's think about some stuff about Raw and SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
SmackDown... Raw, they totally missed it, where, let's see... SmackDown didn't have one single women's match. The whole show. You had that one thing with Bayley and Charlotte.
Yeah.
And the Moment of Bliss. And here's my thing. I'm not saying that you need to throw out women's matches just for the sake of having women's matches. But...
You need to use your women so much better.
Yeah.
It's not even that hard.
It's really not. It's really not. Some of them are very soft, I assume. One of us is going to say it, Chris.
But, you're not sufficiently using your women's talent. What the hell are you doing? They really need to revitalize interest and have something to be a catalyst for the women to have more to do. I'd say Evolution 2 would probably be a great idea. You could use that to make a storyline for all the women going into Evolution.
You do know that there's no way they're doing an Evolution 2, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they should. No, I agree with you. They should do that. Because they announced Evolution, They
have plenty of female talent in NXT and NXT UK that they can borrow from.
Yeah.
There's so much that they could do, and they're not doing it.
No. I mean, it's like just with the women's tag team division now. I mean, it's just, you look at the teams that they face. They faced the Iconics in a rematch.
Yeah.
Bliss and Cross did. Blissy Cross. And they faced the Kabuki War. They faced the Kabuki Wars? Yeah, that's right. Alexa pinned Kairi saying, "Hey, Kairi, glad you're being jobbed out." I mean, I'm not, but then they beat Mandy and Sonya.
Yeah.
And now, like, that's pretty much all the teams right there. Where are they going to go to NXT? They're going to have some from NXT just make an appearance.
Yeah, it's one of those things, too, that it was supposed to be, defended against all the brands.
Right.
And that it was an exciting thing that would get attention to all of the other brands that you're wasting.
And I just don't understand why they're doing that. Or why they're not, utilizing it. Because it's like, what's the point of having all these brands?
Have them announce on SmackDown. Like, next week on a special edition of NXT UK, we're going there to challenge live.
Yeah, well, the NXT UK might not work.
Well, it could.
Yeah, but they wouldn't do it live.
They can.
I know they can. I'm just saying they probably won't.
But if you want people to watch NXT UK, you got to do that.
That's fair. No, that's fair. They might actually start doing that once NXT goes to USA Network, which... Hey, there we go. We could talk about that briefly.
Yes.
I'm
excited for it.
I hope it works out.
All reports seem to state that, Triple H is going to be still the main guy behind NXT.
Unless the ratings are total shit, and then Vince won't be able to stay away.
He's going to have to.
Oh, no. I'm not saying that I hope the ratings aren't bad. I just worry because they're going to choke people out with all the wrestling. They kind of already have.
Well, the key is to not let AEW get a foothold, is what they're looking to do. This is something that they most likely have been planning for a couple months.
I think this is something that they've been in discussions with for months, and they decided to ramp it up.
Yeah. Like they talked to USA and goes, they're going to be coming in October. We need to have something established before then to keep viewers away from AEW.
Right.
Not necessarily out of fear, but out of business. Because it ain't personal. It's business.
It's never personal with Vince.
No. I mean, he hired Eric Bischoff after he shut down WCW.
It's true.
Vince is all about the business. Sometimes he should actually learn part of the business, but...
How to book people properly and shit, but...
Not just luck into good talent.
That's another thing. It's like, I hope the NXT USA thing works out, because USA is paying some good money. Mm-hmm. Even if it's just 30-something million a year is possible, it's still going to cover the production costs.
Yeah. They're likely going to see people still following up the next day to watch NXT On Demand.
Yeah, and that's
totally fine. Because that should be an expected metric in today's society.
Yeah, that's something where AEW is going to have the advantage is, they could DVR it, people could watch later, but it's only going to be one show a week.
Yeah.
And they're only going to focus on tapings. They're not going to focus on house shows, at least not right now.
Nope.
If they want to run some house shows here and there, okay, but they seem to be low six-figure contracts with the idea that you could work other events, that they approve.
Yeah.
And that makes sense. But that's going to be something that's going to...
You wouldn't want someone from AEW showing up on Evolve.
I mean, do you want that? Sure, but it wouldn't happen.
No, I said you wouldn't expect someone from AEW.
Wouldn't expect. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, it could happen.
It could, but it'd be...
Very awkward.
Not good for a business to work with a WWE-affiliated brand.
That's true. But I think it could be pretty interesting what they do with NXT on USA Network. Well, we'll see what happens. Honestly, as you said, during the show, great time to be a wrestling fan.
Yeah, it is. If there's something you're not enjoying, you'll be able to find something you do enjoy.
And I wish AEW, honestly, nothing but the best of success. We will be doing predictions for All Out Monday or Tuesday. Something. I'm still debating on Royal Quest. Reviewing that or not. We'll see. If I don't, who knows?
Leave a comment down below.
Yeah. Who knows? Yeah, leave comments down below if you want me to review it. Also, if I decide not to do that, who knows? We may just go in blind to UK Cardiff and just watch that. Fuck knows. Find out what the time is. But yeah, we're going to cut this one a little short because it's like, I can't think of too much.
I do have one thing to add. Do you think we should do a Ask for Honesty? And
we could do that at some point. Yeah, because even though the hashtag Ask for Honesty, real quick, even though the hashtag Ask for Honesty episodes were pretty popular, I'm going to be perfectly honest, guys. It was hard to do a whole bunch of shows all in a row, and there were some times I got a lot of great questions, and then there were times I just had questions that I just blitzed through because I had nothing to say about it.
Maybe we'll do things like end of month.
We could do that.
And cover a lot of things in a podcast instead of the,
And it doesn't have to be all just Ask for Honesty. It could just be a select thing, and just, you can ask your questions, but just bear in mind that if it's stuff that, this is just some, leave the comments here.
Yeah.
And use the hashtag Ask for Honesty, or find me on Twitter, and just send me them, or send me them in DM or something like that. Other than that, make sure that you use the hashtag Ask for Honesty, because if you don't, I'm not gonna know if they're questions. And let's make them good. And let's have some fun here, but I can't be doing them every single week.
Yeah, and just remember, if you want to ask me any questions, probably focus on WWE related stuff, because I usually don't watch too many things outside of WWE and the Indies.
If you ask him anything that is related to New Japan, he could just defer to me.
Yep.
But yeah, just do that. You could ask both of us, and yeah, we could do that. In fact, we could just do that next week. We'll do that next week.
Yeah, why not?
And we'll talk. We'll give our thoughts on All Out. I mean, we will have already done that, and we'll be the day before All Out, but we'll see what happens.
Alrighty.
But folks, I think that's going to be the end of this, because we're both pretty tired. Our voices are shot.
Yeah.
And also, we covered just about everything we wanted to cover.
Yes. So thanks for tuning in. Like and dislike the quote unquote video, and please subscribe to us for some more.
Yes, please do that.
All right.
Because we will make sure to continue to provide the best content that we can.
All right. Well, until next time, goodbye.